Hello, welcome to today's training. I'm Kurt Romer, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Raise Holdings. Safety has always been a core value to Raise family of businesses, and our focus on safety is really about you and making sure that you come to work and leave the same way that you came. We've always had a commitment to physical security, but it's been embedded in our safety culture and safety initiatives. With the ever-changing world and environment that we live in, we determined it was necessary to have an expertise and a focus on physical security to protect you and to protect our people from the challenges of the ever-changing world. In today's training, you will hear strategies that will allow you to identify and react to potentially threatening situations, all part of situational awareness. At Raise Family of Businesses, we are committed to provide information and tactics to ensure that you're in the best position to respond appropriately to these incidents. Today's training should last approximately 15 minutes, and we appreciate your undivided attention.
Is very serious. We were talking about emergency evacuation, because what would you do in an emergency situation if someone came into the building?
At the forefront of every Raise Holdings business unit is the safety and security of the employees. We must work together to provide a safe and secure workplace for those in our warehouses, offices, and in the field. Today, we'll focus on 3 important takeaways. First, learn to recognize behavioral or situational indicators that may precede a threat or act of workplace violence. Second, we'll explain what to do when you recognize a potential threat to workplace safety or security. If you see something, say something. And third, learn how to prepare, plan, and act when an immediate response is necessary during an active shooter situation. We will review the run, hide, fight strategy. We will conclude by directing you to the Raise Holdings Workplace Violence and Weapons in the Workplace policies, which you can also find in the Employee Center of Raise Connect at any time. When it comes to workplace violence, prevention is our goal. In this first section, we will discuss how to recognize concerning behaviors and the importance of making a commitment to report this information properly. Our Raise Holdings Workplace Violence Policy provides examples of behavioral indicators potentially preceding a violent situation. These behaviors may include a coworker who is often late or absent excessively, crying a lot or having temper tantrums that are uncharacteristic, a new display of disrespect for authority figures, someone absolutely refusing to acknowledge job performance problems, a colleague who swears at work or uses emotionally charged language inappropriately, abnormal social isolation, someone who handles criticism poorly, perhaps blaming others for their mistakes and insisting he or she is correct all of the time, holding grudges, especially against a supervisor. And in the workplace, concerning behaviors look like sudden, persistent complaining about unfair treatment, blaming others for their problems, a change in behavior or a decline in job performance, a stated hope for something bad to happen for a supervisor or a coworker, increased absenteeism, a refusal to accept criticism about work performance, or an inability to manage feelings. This might look like outbursts of swearing, slamming doors, or emotionally charged gestures. While these behaviors may be potential indicators leading to an act of workplace violence, a display of 1 or 2 is not necessarily a direct indicator someone is about to engage in violent activity. Reporting your observations is the first step towards seeing that the proper teams can assess and proactively provide aid where needed. Too often, loved ones, friends, and colleagues ignore these changes in behavior, some feeling it is not their place to say something, or not knowing how or to whom they should communicate. Unfortunately, if ignored, these warning signs can lead to more serious incidents. At Raise Holdings, we're asking all of you to help one another and look out for each other. If you see something, feel a colleague is showing signs, struggling with their emotions, or something just does not feel right, say something. Notify your manager, HR representative, or a security or safety team member. If you want to speak out but are uncomfortable or wish to remain anonymous, call the Ethics and Compliance Hotline. All reports to the hotline are promptly followed up by our Raise Holdings Ethics and Compliance team, the Business Unit's Human Resources team, and security where appropriate. Remember, if you see something, or if your instincts are telling you something does not feel right, don't ignore it. Say something. Your action may be the help someone needs, or can serve to prevent a violent incident. Even the most protected places and most prepared individuals carry the risk of being faced with a violent situation. Being prepared and having a plan for the worst case scenario or unexpected event could be the differentiating factor in the survival of you and your colleagues. While unlikely, an active shooter or violent attack event can occur anywhere, at a facility, a customer location, on the road, or away from work at a location with your friends or family. If confronted with an active shooter or violent attack situation, having good situational awareness, being prepared to respond, and committing to act may be critical for a positive outcome. No matter where you are, be aware of your surroundings. Remain present in the moment and take note of odd, misplaced, or inconsistent situations. You can be prepared by creating the habit of quickly assessing an area, developing a plan that can help you escape or remain safe if you feel uncomfortable or find yourself in the midst of a violent situation. First, identify exits. When in an unfamiliar location, have a plan to approach and exit safely and quickly. Second, identify rooms or spaces nearby where you can safely hide. Third, be aware of what tools you may have access to for protection. Ask yourself, what's nearby that I could use for defense, such as a piece of furniture, a fire extinguisher, or any other protective obstacle? If you ever face the unfortunate situation of being present during an active shooter incident, adopt a survival mindset and commit to act. Only you can determine the best action in the moment. Be prepared to assess the situation and respond. Make the decision to run, hide, or fight. The ultimate goal in an active shooter situation is to get to a safe location away from the threat in the safest manner possible. Assess the situation and act. Whenever possible, your preferred action should be to evacuate the area or run. Where is the threat? Is it moving? Is it close or far enough away to run to safety? What are you running from? Where are you running to? If you can identify an escape path, attempt to evacuate. Leave your belongings behind, but do take others with you if possible. Prevent individuals from entering an area where the active shooter may be. Do not attempt to move wounded people. Where able, choose safe passageways that provide cover if needed, and proceed by checking blind corners before moving forward. Keep your hands visible and follow the instructions of any police officers. Remember, it's not a sprint of panic, but a safe movement away from the threat with the ability to change direction or stop if necessary. Once you are safe, contact 911. Only if you cannot run to safety, your next option is to hide. Try to find a place to hide that will keep you out of sight of danger and provide protection if shots are fired in your direction. If possible, do not hide in a location where your movement is completely restricted. If you must hide in a room with a locking door is optimal. If there is not a lock on the door, a door that opens inward is preferred so that you can effectively create a barricade from entry by the threat. Once inside, blockade the door with heavy objects, and if possible, find something to wedge under the door to prevent entry. Silence your phone. If it is safe to do so, call 911 with the location of the shooter, text a friend or family member, use Find My Phone app, or if you have a social media account such as Twitter, you can alert local police on their department account. Once possible, you want to have the option to run. Remember, your goal is to get out, and if an opportunity to run is available while hiding, then run to safety. Remember to carefully assess the situation before choosing to emerge. If you hear a fire alarm, keep in mind that this may be a trick. Check for the smell of smoke or other indicators of fire before leaving your hiding spot. This is a decision only you can make. If you are barricaded, do not open the door unless you can confirm law enforcement is the one requesting you to open. If you cannot run to safety or hide from the threat, your last resort option is to fight. Remember, if you must fight, commit to survival. Look for tools to aid you. Any tool or object you can find to attack an offender, inflict immediate harm, and disarm is best. Look around and assess your options. Almost all facilities have effective tools to disarm or engage an offender. For example, a fire extinguisher, shovel, or other heavy object. These can be effective tools to temporarily disable an offender and allow you to escape. If you must confront an offender, you must do whatever is necessary to ensure you and the others you are with are safe. If, during this confrontation, you can subdue the offender, remove access to the weapon. If needed, put the weapon in an area away from the offender until law enforcement arrives. Remember, only you can assess the right actions to protect yourself and others when faced with an active shooter event. Remembering to run, hide, or fight will prepare you to act. The Race Holding Workplace Threats and Violence and Weapons in the Workplace policies outline employee and company expectations when it comes to creating and maintaining a safe workplace. You can access these policies anytime online or by speaking to your supervisor or HR representative. There are 3 important takeaways from today's training. First, we reviewed examples of behavioral indicators potentially preceding a violent situation. Second, we learned that if we see something, we must say something. And finally, we learned how to decide to run, hide, or fight if faced with an active shooter situation. Remember, while we hope you are never faced with an act of violence, being prepared to respond and act can be the key to prevention and ultimately your survival.
Thank you for attending today's training. We hope that you will be able to take some of the lessons learned today into your home and into your work. If you have any further questions, please reach out to your manager or your HR leadership. Remember, our collective safety starts and ends with you.